It's official. My job stinks.
Well, and welcome back to Live at Liberty, right? So what's up?
So
I mean, what a way to. We could have talked about this after, right?
Well, I think it needs to be discussed.
What happened?
So we had a great men's conference, and then just everything went south. Everything went south. Yeah. So the water's backing up in the floor.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so we figure out that the septic tank is backed completely up.
Yeah. Right in the middle. I mean, we have 120 guys there. And you come around the corner and go, hey, man, I'm not sure we're going to have toilets for all of this. And I'm thinking, that's not good.
If Scott walks around the corner with a drill and a drain snake, it's never a good sign.
Yeah. There's so many. People don't understand in ministry on Sundays, on Wednesdays, like everything goes wrong right in the middle when something really important is happening. I hate it. But there was a guy on Sunday, and you were standing there, and we were like 3 minutes before the service started, and we had a glitch kind of in the stream thing. I had to run back and fix it on my computer. And he walked up to me and he goes, hey man, have you got a minute? And I said, I really don't. And I mean, I had to take off running. And so
is that the same thing where, because the power flickered in the auditorium Sunday,
I don't know if that caused
and it reset all of our computers for the stream. So, Scott and Alan and I were back there digging through wires and trying to figure out what was going to work and what wasn't. We finally got it back up, but
yeah.
I didn't know if that was related.
But I looked at this poor guy, man, if he watches this, I hope that, I was not trying to put you off. And I said, I'll be right back. And he was not there when I got back. And then after the service, he's gone. But yeah, so you come around the corner and goes, hey, man, I'm not sure we're going to have toilets for this entire event, which is not good for 130 men.
I feel like that every Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday is an adventure in my job.
For sure.
And that's part of it, man. It's just kind of the crazy stuff that happens in ministry. So anybody else got, let's put it like this. What is, I don't know, should we? What is the one part of your job that stinks, right? So let's just be transparent for a minute, right?
Are you saying literally, or are you saying
not like Scott's.
Metaphorically?
You work in kids
because
ministry.
she's in
There's a lot.
preschool and infants. I mean, she's probably got
lots
lots
of
of
dirty diapers.
I was just saying.
We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed, right?
Yes.
That's the part of, no, I'm not talking about dirty diapers. So I'll leave I tell you one part of ministry that really stinks for me. I love the preaching part, obviously, the sermon prep part, all that kind of stuff. I tell you this is one that really stinks, and this happened to me last week. And but sometimes you work as hard as you can on the sermon, you pray through a sermon, and still on Saturday, it's not there. And I mean, like, on Saturday, I feel pressure all day. But man, when the countdown clock is on and all kinds of things are going on, Austin's gigging at the general store. I'm trying to get out there to see that. I'm working on it, and I don't really have it.
By the way.
Yeah. So, I was trying to get out there to see that and support you. But man, I was sitting there the whole time thinking, how am I going to say this? How am I going to say it? So that's the part of my job that really stinks sometimes, is when it's Saturday night crunch time. Mm-hmm. Who else?
I'll say the first thing that came to mind was when I'm running down and parents go, good luck. And I'm like, I've got 60 kids following me. How about instead of saying, good luck, you're it, you can say, they might need extra grace today. Just a little bit of a flip on how we say it so I can love your babies and not all of a sudden go, oh no, what are we getting into? But it's getting caught right when we're about to start teaching and they're like, good luck. Uh-oh.
So basically what you're saying is feeding your child high-sugar cereals before church on Sunday really stinks.
Let's just say I don't feel bad when I return the favor.
I got you.
Here's your slime. It's coming up. No.
So Levi, what about you, man? Youth ministry. What really stinks?
Man, honestly, not being able to be 5 people at one time. Mm-hmm. I sincerely appreciate my folks who help volunteer and lead small groups, and there's lots of awesome conversations and stuff that happens in small groups, and I don't get to be a part of every small group, and so it's a little bit of FOMO. I love teaching the word, and I love teaching them from the stage, but not being able to be in every group and just get into all those conversations, that's probably mine. Mm-hmm. Not being able to spend all the time with all the kids that I want to.
Golly, I probably shouldn't say this, but we're trying to be transparent here. When you said that, so I'm not. So we're kind of in the the middle age empty nester life group. That's Gabe and them. What's the second one called? Pursuing God. That tells you how often I've been there. It's never. So I don't go to the life groups, and I don't when we go to man church, I don't go to the round tables. And this is what really stinks. And I'm gonna say this, and everybody's going, "Oh man." So, but I hate it when I sit down or somebody show, and the first thing everybody says, "Oh, the preacher's here. What'd you say?" That really stinks. I don't. So that's why I never go to those, because everybody like tends up and they don't say anything.
Yep.
So that's real. Yeah, you go.
That's real.
Go to a school and you want to go hang out at lunch and just sit down with some kids. You know, be like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And then everything changes.
Yes.
Like they don't go into normal mode. They go into youth pastor's here. Like,
Oh yeah.
Are you going to tattle on me to God?
Yeah, right.
Like, are you? It's like, dude, he already knows.
the first thing I usually get is, okay, so the reason I haven't been there on Wednesday and Sunday is, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I'm not here to check your attendance. I was just saying what's up.
That really stinks. All right, Melissa. Other than the dirty diapers in preschool,
Other than the dirty diapers, full transparency would be where people only see you outside of church as still Miss Melissa. That stinks.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like that invisible barrier where it's Miss Melissa who takes care of all the kids versus Miss Melissa who's struggles with everyday real life just like you do. So,
You know what? I think we're going to bring up some things later on the podcast of just our summers, personally. I think that'd be a good, because this is one of the features we're going to do in this season of Live at Liberty. I talked to Nicole's not going to be as much on the podcast, or probably not at all on the podcast. She's like the principal of the school now, so she's busy working in the school. Lori is going to show up about once a month to do the stories, but when I talked to them, one of their suggestions was, man, have these kind of staff chats so that people can kind of get to know you. But I'm going to bring up something later on that maybe you can speak to that. Hey, this is me, my world outside of this whole thing. So, Austin, what stinks, man?
Well, I guess I have two little things, or maybe one little thing and one probably thing that we all relate to in ministry that comes to my mind. Number one, what stinks is just getting decline on planning center. Like when I send out like I really need somebody for this instrument, and like I've asked everybody to do this, and I've sent the schedule for 3 months. And then like people wait till the day before. I need them to be like, "Oh, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but you know who you are." But please accept the next one. No, that's always. It's really not like pulling teeth, but sometimes it's like, especially summer. I guess since we're talking about summer stuff, it's just everybody's traveling. Teams are just thinner. And I get it. We all need rest and we all need vacation. And people are gracious enough to, in all seriousness, like give their time and their heart and their gift and their talent. And, thank you is really all we can say.
Yeah.
If you ever need air guitar, I got you. But anything else,
We haven't
I'm
got
sorry.
that desperate yet, but I'll let you know.
Levi can play the radio. All right.
I had one more downside.
Go ahead.
A lot of good. I would say just in ministry, a lot of times, we have to be extra careful about making sure we get poured into in different ways, maybe than other people do. Because you're always pouring out, you're always serving, you're always giving, you're always leading, preparing, all that kind of stuff. And I think there are just some things, like even with the man church, that sometimes I would just like to be able to be in on, and just kind of like you're saying, just be a regular dude and sit in on something and just kind of sit face to face with some guys. And blessed to get to do the things that I get to do, but sometimes it's like, man, I kind of would just like to be part of that thing, but I got something else to do. Right now.
There's a book. I ought to have all y'all read it. I read it about once a year, at least once every other year. But I think every personnel committee ought to read it. I think every, just like the leaders of the church ought to read it, the deacons ought to read it. But it's by Paul David Tripp, and it's called Dangerous Calling. And he talks about one of the many things that he talks about of church leadership is that you like you said, you pour out and you minister, but the staff and the pastor doesn't really receive the ministry of the church. And we're as human as anybody. And man, it's like man, you're leading a church, but man, you also need that church body, and there's a tension in that. And so, man, that's just a great book to kind of give you the insight on it. So, enough depressing stuff. That was a stinky way to start out the Live at Liberty, right?
I say, so now we're flushing.
Hey,
And
yeah. So, but here's the thing: Live at Liberty. In case you missed it on the last season, we have some great episodes and stories in the church. This is really just very local to the church to help you to get to know who we are, what we do, to help you get to know the people that you're looking at the back of their head on Sunday morning. And so it's just very real and raw of what's happening at Liberty. And we need your help with that. One of the ways that you can help us with that is sending in birthdays, anniversaries, and accomplishments. And so, by the way, we have an app. And one of the things I put on there today, if you go on our app, you can pull the Live at Liberty to watch it is right there. But also there's one that says birthdays, shout-outs, anniversaries, stories, content, and accomplishments. So if you have a story for Lori, man, your kid scored a goal in the soccer game, touchdown in the football game, your kid is the first chair in the band. We need that stuff because, as Melissa knows, the church records aren't always right.
Right.
Sometimes the husband thinks his anniversary is one day and the wife thinks it's another day, right? Sometimes we try to celebrate birthdays like we did Levi this summer. We got him a cake. We were all really fired up. And then we found out it was really April Hardwood's birthday. Yeah. So we just...
Thanks, social media. I appreciate you syncing up our info like that.
Stuff like that happens. So we need you to send it in. So let's go through some birthdays real quick. And we'll catch up on some because it's been a while, right? So August the 19th, we've got Scott Brock and Emily Standridge. On the 20th, Brim Baggett. The 21st, Betty Thompson. The 22nd was Jeff Kraft and Jerry O'Brien. These are all on the 23rd. Letha Ingram, Melanie Sparks, Reed Albertson, Riley Miller, and then let's go the 24th, Valerie Dunn. Mm-hmm. I was standing at the door the other day, by the way. I'm going to sell you out here, Valerie. Mm-hmm. And Bryson comes up to me and he goes, hey, I'm not going to be at the Man Church event. This is Sunday. And I was like, why? Which is Valerie's son-in-law. He's like, man, we're going to celebrate Valerie's birthday. That's all good. Well, thanks, Valerie, for costing me a couple guys. Mm-hmm. But he said, we're going out to Cleveland to eat. And so I'm thinking, okay, I bet you, like Valerie, there's a really nice place that they like to go as a family in Cleveland, which Cleveland's very unique, right? So why Cleveland? You know what it was? You know where Valerie wanted to eat on her birthday? Oh, no. Buffalo Wild Wings. So,
I like
hey, that's cool, all right? But I don't know about y'all. I'm not a wings guy.
I am.
I definitely
But we are
am.
a house divided.
Dude, I'm
bone in, Danny's not.
I want something I have to eat 50 of.
Let me tell you something. I'm on.
I hear the passion, yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up because
Oh, wow.
because
Here
my
we go.
wife, the food connoisseur that she is, she can always point you in the right direction. And
Okay.
I don't like wings typically for one reason, and that's because like I'm such a messy eater that I'm embarrassed in public.
Yeah, there you go.
To just be seen. I'd rather just like be alone in my kitchen at home if I'm going to do that. But
Ribs and wings are both meals you have to take a shower after
I agree.
you eat it, right?
I'm not a big ribs guy, but go to Baja Coop. This is a little free plug for Baja Coop. Great place, good people.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, right. Yeah. Get the traditional dry lime pepper wings, and you will thank me later.
Traditional lime pepper.
I'm not
But
sure
you
I
gotta get
will.
them dry.
I'm not sure.
Dry.
I like the messy. Yeah.
Trust me, try it once. And
It's not like I dislike any of
so
them.
much better than Buffalo Wild
But
Wings.
it's just
though.
like that's only enough chicken to make me mad. That's how I feel.
That's why
about
you got to
it.
get 15.
So can we not cover like a big piece of chicken? And anyway,
Whatever she ate wasn't as good as
Happy
the fried
birthday,
fish.
Valerie.
yeah, Valerie, I hope you got all the wings you wanted for your birthday. All right. So also on the 24th, Coleman Jenkins. So now we move on into the 25th, Martin Miller, Samuel Smith. There you go, Sam. Hey, Lisa Klein. Right.
Yesterday, yep.
All right. Did you take care of Mama?
I sure did.
All right. Way to go, man.
She didn't do
Wings.
chicken wings. No,
Wings for Lisa.
no, she's her favorite restaurant of the last like 30 years, Red Lobster. That's what she
Okay.
does.
Right. Yep. All right. And then Judy Ellison on the 25th. And then here's the 27th, Will Jennings. 28th, Dolores McGuire. 29th, Mandy Zapko. Also the 29th, Annabelle Hendricks. And the 31st, the guy who wins everything at Liberty, Ronald Beavers. Yep. We think he won a gift card at the man church thing the other night. And I saw Laura at Ingles yesterday. We really do think he's like up to something because he wins every time we have a drawing.
You pulled it.
I mean, he's a good guy, but come on, Ronald, what are you doing, man?
So we did the Celebrate Recovery golf tournament.
Yeah.
And there was a gas grill that got donated. Well, the story is that somebody was trying to sell Ronald that gas grill before the golf tournament, and he wouldn't buy it, and so they donated it. He goes to the golf tournament and wins it.
And wins the gas grill. That's
called favor. That's grace. That's undeserved favor.
I don't know, Scott, sometimes things just come out of you. But, there's all these guys in there. We draw that ticket, and Ronald wins it. You yelled out in front of everybody, he wins everything. I don't know if that was a
little bit of sadness that staff can't win stuff there.
A little sore spot.
Yeah.
I just got too many stories, and I can't put my name in the hat for anything around here. So
yeah.
That's something that
Hey,
stinks.
that's true. Now,
That's what stinks. There you go.
Let's address this for a moment. Both of you.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, you too, man.
He's the one who got. Okay, go ahead. It'll
So
come out.
Scott, how long were you just a member here before you came on staff?
gosh.
That long?
Probably 7 years.
Yeah, this is a long time. So, and we do giveaways, Father's Day, Mother's Day, different things all along. So I'll never forget the first time that that Scott's on staff and we do a giveaway. And I can't remember if you won it or you drew for it or something. But I looked at Scott and I said, "You can't win. Now that you're on staff, you can't win, right?" So, yeah. And then Levi shows up on staff, and I did pull your name one time.
So I never win anything. And the first thing that I do here, I think it was like the smokeless fire pit or something. It was nice.
Yeah, it was a good one.
And guess who told me to put my name in there? I think that might have been hazing. Maybe he just like was reliving his moment or something like that.
I think that might have been.
I won. I was like, all right. You're like, you can't win. You're like, whatever.
Yeah.
And you picked another one. I was like, oh man, that hurt.
Yeah. So hey, that does stink on staff.
That does
You can't
stink.
win.
Understandable though.
Anyway,
I just have to hang out with Ronald more and
Yeah,
go to
there
Waffle
you
House
go.
with him and cook some.
That's what I was
stuff
thinking. I
on
was
his
like,
grill.
I like Waffle House, and not until I came here. I don't think I've ever been to a Waffle House until I moved here.
well, it's about time.
Yes.
Welcome to Georgia.
And so,
So we have no anniversaries, but I'll tell you a really good anniversary story. So this is, I don't know if, he may be like, dude, you shouldn't have told that. He told me, and he was
didn't
laughing
Nicole
about it.
and Michael just celebrate an anniversary?
Yeah, they did. So we don't, no, I think theirs is, wasn't it actually at youth camp? And they just now
that-
got away.
Sorry, I
That
just saw
was-
pictures on Facebook.
That was
so-
first date anniversary. Michael's a hopeless romantic, and so
Oh, okay.
yeah. Shout out, Michael.
Well, happy
Good example
anniversary.
to you.
Okay.
So after the event on Sunday night, Nathan Stanfield is standing down there and we're talking, and they just had, I guess they just had their 30th anniversary.
Wow.
And I was like, man, what'd you do? And this is what he told me. He said, we went to eat. You ready for this? 30th anniversary
Chicken wings.
at the Village. so then I guess next year they're going to Edna's. But anyway, again, thanks to our sponsors. Yeah.
Hey, when you got a good relationship, it ain't got to be fancy. You just got to be together, man.
Going to the Village for the 30th anniversary. Man, a lot of good stories around. All right, so now let's get into Liberty Sports. This is another thing we talk about, the softball team, different things like that. So now we are at fantasy football time. We actually had our draft last night, and the league is growing because last year we had 8 guys in the league. Now we have 19.
Wow.
So, and I have to play. So now we have a Liberty League A and a Liberty League B. I have to be in both of them because I have to manage the leagues, right? So let's go through the matchups this week. And in doing this, you'll also get the team names, right? So
They're funny. I was listening to Danny last
So
night.
everybody kind of think about which one is your favorite team name, right? So my team name, I'm going against Nathan Pendergrass this week in Liberty League A. My team name in that one is just like it was last year, Ugly. UGA, because I'm a Georgia fan, LY, Ugly, right? Nathan Pendergrass, I like this one, is Sherlock Mahomes. So, I like that.
Okay.
Will Korn, who for 2 years now has not changed his team name, and this is the one like ESPN provides for you. So I think we need to give Will Korn a team name. So y'all be thinking about that. It's Will's Wild Team. That's the one they just match up your name. So he goes up against Bo Barrett this week, which is Clemson versus all y'all. So he obviously a Clemson fan. Any ideas for what's a good team name for Will? Any ideas for that one?
The Willy Nillies.
The
Will they
Willie
win?
Nelsons. Will they win? That's pretty good. I think as the league manager, I can change his team name.
I have an idea. How about the Lord's will?
Is that the church staff equivalent of a dad joke? Like,
Where's the drums when you need them?
can you add a sound effect in?
The Lord's will. I like it. Oh man.
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.
So I think I can change his team name. So he may wake up tomorrow with a new team name, and it may be the Lord's will. I like that. That's pretty awesome. All right. Hunter Shady is Slim Pickens. That's a pretty good one. John Baggett, who is new to our league, is Go Dogs 2122 exclamation point.
It's like AOL.
Well, here's what I'm wondering is, John, did you just give us your password to all your accounts? So anyway, everybody hack John today. Gabe Shady, the People's Champion. That's pretty good. Sounds like a wrestler.
The Rock.
I like this one right here. Kevin Garner, who's new to the league. How about them Garners? Yeah.
How about them guys?
I like that. So Carl Koneman is Cone Dogs, and he goes up against Joel Korn, who is Joe's Jukers.
Like I said, corn
He,
dogs.
he changed his team name this year. So here we go, Liberty League B. So Nathan Stanfield, who obviously likes the Village for his 30th anniversary, is I like this because there's a wide receiver whose name is Cooper Kupp, Kupp. So his team name is My Cup Runneth Over You.
That's
pretty good.
clever.
Okay.
So in this one, I just got on Chat GPT and was like, "Hey, what's a great team?" And so mine in Liberty League B is third down for what?
I just heard that in my head.
Tennessee fans will appreciate that, even though I'm a Georgia fan. Now this is the one for me. This one takes the cake right here. So Tyler Tipton, who's new to our church, right? So there is a soccer team in the Premier League called Manchester United, right? So his team name is Man Chest Hair United. That was pretty good, Tyler. I'll vote for that one. Devin Smith is the Mud Dogs. Him and Tyler face each other. Dan Zapko is Daniel's Driven Team, which means, come on, Dr. Zapko, you got to change your team name, man. Maybe we got to come up with one for him, too. Doc's Dogs or something like that. Dylan Center, Dylan's Daring Team. That is the matchup of two guys who are the most boring in the league right now. You got to change your team names. Those are both the ones that ESPN provided for you. David Smith, again, here's another, you haven't changed your team name, David's Dangerous Team. Josh Hall, I like this one. Father, forgive my draft. That was pretty good. Danny Miller, What's the Matter? WATTS, What's the Matter?
Watts.
JJ Watts.
Yeah, it's like electricity, right?
No, like the family, like the three brothers. Okay, listen, you are testing my football knowledge. One of
Those
them
guys,
plays
gotcha.
for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was hot when somebody took the Steelers from him last night. Listen, I was sitting. He was in the recliner. His dad was on the phone. He was watching Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team play, and then he had his little computer, and they were like for 2 hours discussing. So I changed it to Project Runway,
Okay.
but that's
So this
Watts.
is like JJ Watts. Okay.
If that's the one that plays for the Steelers, then yes.
I thought is Danny an electrician on the side? I didn't really get that. And I like this one, Anthony Landowski, 4th and Lando. That's pretty good. So those, man, we're going to follow that along this year. It's been a busy summer, even though we didn't have live at Liberty. There's a lot going on here at the church. Let's just kind of hit some of the highlights. Go back to June, VBS.
Let's go.
Your second time around in VBS.
Yes, the first time at VBS, I got to attend and just get to meet people, and that was super fun.
You actually last year showed up the week of VBS.
I did.
That was your first week. What a week to start.
Hey, listen, and it was fun, and I got to meet people, and so this year we got to just go for it. And so we did Power Up VBS, and it was all 1980s video game theme.
Which I love.
It was, and the adults were getting into it.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. So, and so that was really fun, from the games to just getting into the word and the flow of everything. Super, super fun. So glad we got to do that. We had tons of adults and kids just come and worship together, and we got new volunteers who had never served before and who are now serving in kids ministries this year. So that for me is a really big win. And it was fun. It was fun. And so we're ready for this year.
And man, things are going really well in the dock kids.
Yes.
We just expanded the space,
Y'all,
right? To make more room.
We have been, the kids have been praying for this since January, because ministry is experiential, and it was hard to experience a lot when there's a lot of us in a room and we can't move. And so we just said, let's just start praying about it. So intentionally praying. They were praying at it in their homes. I said, when you brush your teeth in the morning, because that's something you should be doing every day, make sure you're praying for us to expand. And so the week before I found out we were expanding, we had party blowers. And so the kids go, Miss Jodi, let's walk in a circle around downstairs and blow our party balloons and see if
we
the
don't
walls.
want the walls to fall
Jericho
down.
style, yeah.
We did. We
Oh,
wanted
that
those
wall.
walls
Yeah,
to
that
go
wall.
down.
I got you.
And so the kids were like, "We got our party blowers. Let's go!" And so, and
Might
then
be what's
Scott-
wrong with the septic thing. They've
might be,
cursed
yes.
it, right?
Well, it did stop during VBS too. So,
Yes, it did.
but anyway, so the dock has expanded so graciously. We had some life groups say, "Hey, let's make our rooms more lovable and tighter, so that the kids have room to grow and go." And so thank you for seeing that and saying, hey, they're worth the investment. And we got to grow. And let me tell you, it has been a blast. Other groups have realized how not loud we can be, just how joyful,
Lively.
Yes.
joyful we are. But they've had a lot of fun. And so we're on week 2 now. And it's just the things that we can now do and encounter is so exciting. They go, well,
looks
when are we
awesome
taking
down
down the
there.
next wall? I was like, oh, Scott is going to be.
Hang
and
on.
so we've got another goal.
We got to
but-
build some rooms upstairs before
Yeah.
we do that, right?
But
All right,
so cool.
So let's
good.
move beach camp, right? End of June and beginning of July.
Yes, sir. So our theme was Made for More. Shout out Made for More. We talked about in James, draw near to God and Him draw near to you. It had kind of a school theme with it. We had a lot of fun with that. Had some old school picture backdrop stuff. And
Yeah, so that was my favorite part. Is the first night. Everybody's got to get the scene of this. They have like the old Olin Mills looking background
on purpose.
and you had to do an awkward school picture. Like it was good. That was really good.
You can go check out the Liberty Connect students Facebook, Instagram. I'm pretty sure that there's a little yearbook post on there. We got some staff and faculty on there. We got some
I never
kids.
saw mine. Yeah,
Oh, it's
there we go.
good. It's good. Yeah, it's up there now. You check it out. It's good.
So where do they go to see that?
They can go to the students' Facebook page or Instagram. It's Liberty Connect Students, or just hit me up and I'll send it to you. But it's there's some folks who just are photogenic and just look nice, and there are some folks who purposefully made it as awkward as possible, and I appreciate that. But overall, it was just good, man. It was so good to just unplug, get away, and those kids. Man, they really went all in, and I appreciate it, and I've seen some good growth from that. So
Yeah, and the last night the theme was prom night, and I'm gonna tell you, man,
Thrift store
some of
prom.
them, some of them came in. Gosh, the red suit, holy cow!
Lawson,
Yeah,
bro.
Lawson's red suit was
Dude,
amazing.
I wish I had. I don't know what they call it now. You know, it used to be swagger, drip, whatever. I don't know, but the aura, whatever. Like there were some kids in there. I was like, I'm impressed. I was thinking thrift store prom. I'm thinking go to Goodwill, pick out something that's oversized or silly looking or look crazy. And some of them came looking like it was like prom, and I was like, okay. But hey, they had a good time with it. And
I told him he needs to wear it on the Sunday. It would look good, man.
All right, challenge. You heard that. You heard that, Lawson.
Yeah. So then we got Africa trip, second time back.
Yeah, so we had an amazing trip. Got to take 4 people with us, and then we had somebody to put up the money to build a Bible school there, and it's just amazing to see what God is doing through our church all the way in Africa, and just to see preachers get raised up to teach the Word of God in another place, and we get to be a part of that. And so we're excited about next year going back. I've got we were talking about doing some medical missions before we came back, and God has already put it on 4 people's hearts that have that kind of background here. And so it's going to be cool to see just all that God does. But Ronnie had a little showdown while he was over there. He had a rooster named Lionel, and you'll get it in a minute. But that rooster sang all night long right next to Ronnie's window every night.
Like Lionel Richie.
Yeah, and but
he was
there
craving
were several times where I think the rooster kind of sized Ronnie up while we were there, because it would stop and pick up its leg and look at him like, "I'll kick you." We got some pictures of that too.
Angry African roosters.
Yes, yes. But that rooster had Ronnie's number. Sorry, Ronnie, but. Yeah, that was funny.
I'll tell you what, Lionel would be fried chicken if he's keeping me up all night, right? Yeah, with the lime pepper,
Dry rub,
right?
lime pepper.
I don't know if I'm missing anything in between then. And by the way, we may have another missions opportunity coming up next summer. Elijah Sortow, who Elijah's been to our church many times, he is in Romania, in Oradea, and they're doing a lot of work with Ukrainian refugees right now because of the war. He texted me on Monday and asked if we'd be interested in sending a team this summer to work with a Ukrainian pastor who's in Romania now, and several people in his church families are there to do a VBS for the kids.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, so something to be thinking about. Then, so let's Liberty at the Lake. Man, that was good. That was just a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
What a great night. You never been to Liberty at the Lake? We rent out the whole Red Clay Resort up there, old Farmer's Lake, I think's what people call it. But, man, 18 baptisms that night. This is the first year we introduced the life group games, which was a lot of fun. We did learn that not many of our people can hit a bucket with an object, so we got some bad shots in this church.
I mean, there's some of those games were skill, some of it was luck, some of it was teamwork. But just all of it together, again, just got to shout out my middle school girls who not only won the life group games at Liberty at the Lake, but they also won our student small group game. So I don't know whose Wheaties they're eating, but I mean they're getting after
middle
it,
school girls, they got the trophy right now. And by the way, on the trophy, Larissa Landowski gave me a phenomenal idea right at the end of the night, because we award the life group trophy at Liberty at the Lake. Liberty at the Lake's kind of the end of our summer. And she's like, hey, so we've got Back to Church Sunday coming up here in a couple of weeks. She's like, why don't you start with Back to Church Sunday, and all through the year do different things where the life groups can get points, and Liberty at the Lake is kind of like the capstone of the whole thing. So then it gets just grungy and dirty in the competition there. I think that's a great idea. So that's what we're going to do this year. But, man, I think you put it on Facebook, but, man, my favorite moment of Liberty at the Lake, you got the guys up there in April, and they're leading worship, and I can't remember what hymn it was that you did, but man, I'm talking about it came alive. That was a
Power in the
powerful
Blood,
moment.
yeah. Or Power in the Blood or Wash in the Blood. Which one was it? Because I get those two. Those are so. It was one of the two. It's a 50% chance of being right, but I think it was one of those, and it was. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Wash in the Blood.
Being that we're standing in front of a
blood.
lake at that moment, that probably was it, that we're doing baptism. So.
Yeah. Okay. And that tracks. That makes more sense. Anyway, sorry. We did a lot of music this past weekend between the fish fry and Sunday.
Yeah, you sure did.
But yeah, no, that was a really cool moment where we just kind of stepped back away from the mics and just played a little softer and let everybody sing out. And anytime you get to do, I don't know if you ever have done like a Easter sunrise service or just like an outdoor, any type of worship service, it's always cool when you just get to sing and like stare at the creation that God has made and just get in a different environment, because we're so blessed to have all the facilities and the technology and everything that we have to worship the way that we do each week. But when you change it up, it just kind of refreshes your perspective.
Yeah.
And I think kind of going forward, even next year, we were talking about just kind of making it more of like a hymn sing almost, where we just get out there and we don't have screens, we don't have words or things like that, but just singing some songs that a lot of people have known maybe their whole life, and just kind of gearing it that way. I think that'd be really cool.
It was awesome.
There's nothing like when God's people join together and lift up their voices. We were at a Southeastern Youth Leaders Conference, and it was all like youth leaders, youth workers, youth pastors and stuff. And when they did worship, it was a band of youth pastors who were musically inclined, unlike myself. But just hearing the roar of people singing out to God from a sincere heart, like it does something, man. There's something about that.
It was good. I'll tell you another moment that, when you're baptizing people, you always get stories that come from baptisms. I baptized a guy one time that was 7 feet tall. That was an adventure. So I've had all kinds of wild baptism stories, but I had a new one at Liberty at the Lake. His last name is Rich. What's his first name?
Chris.
See, there you go. Even we struggle with names too. So Chris Rich, I think he was the fourth one out of 18 to go down there, and it's a beautiful night. We just done the singing, all that kind of stuff. I bring him up out of the water, and thunder. There's a big clap of thunder, and I said, "Hey man, you got thunder." And but then I do not like lightning. It's snakes, spiders, lightning. That's 1A, B, and C right there.
Germs.
Yeah, and germs too. Yeah, you're true. Man, I'm a really messed up person. But anyway,
I mean, I'm with you.
yeah.
All those.
Don't touch me, man. But so I bring him up out of the water, and we get that thunder, and I'm thinking, man, we got 14 to go. And I just want to say to our deacons, I was trying to signal y'all, bring them on in, and let's get this thing done. And everybody's just kind of still really slow. And I'm like, hey, so hurry it along next time if that happens. But we got through it. Nobody was electrocuted. It was all good. And then the men's fish fry this past Sunday night, awesome turnout. We did not take a head count, but Jerry told me they served 135 plates, and we put out 3 tables. How many seats were there before we put out 3 new tables?
There was 123 seats.
And we ran out of room, and they brought out 3 more tables. So yeah, that was awesome. And man, I'll tell you, the guys singing, wow.
Oh yeah, that was powerful.
Man.
That gave me chills, man.
Yeah, it was good. So we had some games, had some food, and then had a time of worship, and I brought a message. I texted Jerry and Nika Gerber yesterday, which big thanks to them for pulling this together. But I told them, I said, y'all have made a huge mistake. And the huge mistake is the fish was too good.
Yeah.
So Nika's like, hey, it was a lot of work, and next time we'll do hamburgers and hot dogs. I'm sorry, Nika, that's not going to happen because the fish was
so
too good. So I didn't, we do an event like that, I don't get a chance to eat, but I got just some sample bites, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not a big fish person, but that was awesome. It was so good. So, and big thanks to the ladies who helped to do that. Jodi played the role of Jesus, in that if anybody called for a piece of fish, you just multiplied it and brought it right back out there. That was good.
Yes, and I have to say, Nika technically didn't kick me out of the kitchen. I just wasn't living up to the same standards as some of our other chefs.
Many members, one body.
Yeah. I got put on ice duty.
So she said, if you can't bread it, you got to bring it, right? Is that what she did to you? All right. So, hey, just, and this is, I know this is going a little bit long, but man, we got a lot to catch up on, right? So, talking about the personal side of things, there's personal stuff that happens to us, right, over the summer. So, Shannon and I, we moved Kylie to Texas, and she's adjusting with things out there. Give y'all a little update on that. She might wind up in January in Nashville. I think this is a boomerang thing. But anyway, wild stuff happening there, opportunities for her. But so she may be in Texas this semester and then finish it online in Nashville next semester. But, so it's funny, we moved Kylie to Texas. Well, she's been away at school for 3 years. And people are like, all right, so now you're finally empty nest. What do you think about that? Well, I'll tell you, when Morgan moved, we dropped her off at college, and that hit for the first time. It was like, whew, we drove away at West Georgia. Like, man, Kylie, kind of the same thing. But then you get to this place where, like, when they come home, you're going, how long you going to be here, right? So, yeah, Shannon and I love the empty nest stage. And it's been really good. But so Melissa, Will, without a team name, the Lord's will, right? So
The Lord's will.
that's your youngest, graduated high school. How's that feel as a mama?
All my pennies are used up.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Because after he graduated, he turned 18. So all my baby dedication people know.
For those
all
of
my
y'all that don't know
pennies.
what that is, when they do Mother's Day baby dedication and Christmas baby dedication, Melissa you get a penny jar for, was it?
1 penny for every week that you have to raise that child till they're 18.
So see
So
what
all my
you've
pennies
done to
are
people
used
all
up.
these years.
So we're in that weird transition too, because earlier Sophie bought the house across the driveway, so she kind of moved out on her own, and Will spends as much time there as he does at home. So we're kind of in that. Is anyone going to be in the house tonight? Is it just us? Like, so we're liking it.
But the word on the street is you have replaced Will.
I have replaced Will. I replaced Will with a cow.
Okay.
So Waffles and Maxine have replaced my children. So I got 2 Highland cows now. That's my extracurricular.
So these are like little small cows.
Yep, they're the long, fuzzy, hairy cows.
Waffles and Maxine.
Waffles and Maxine.
I really do believe you should have named them Chicken and Waffles, if that's what you're.
So
A
she
cow
came with
named
the
Chicken.
name. She came with the name Maxine. So we haven't
Oh,
fully,
okay.
but her ear tag says Maxine. So we'd have to change that. But I mean, we're just getting used to her now.
Well, goodbye,
Yeah.
Will. Now they're feeding a cow.
That's Will's,
right?
Will's
So-
new arch nemesis,
Yeah.
like
Will is
Lionel
out.
the chicken.
Feeding the cow is almost equivalent to feeding Will, though. I mean, he's a football player and
He's a big fella.
Like he's a big old boy.
Teenage
so.
boy, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
man, let's talk about side gigs for a minute because we have the uber talented Austin sitting over here who's been gigging all summer and writing songs and got a MTV video coming out. I mean,
yeah. Is
so
that still a thing?
that is. VH1 is going.
Okay.
You're going to do a behind the music on you in
Pop-up
2027.
Cool. I can't wait.
So tell everybody what you got going on there.
Yeah. So this summer, I guess about first week of June, I started putting a bunch of miles in my car when I had some off days and going to Nashville and working on some recordings that I've just been putting it off and just doing, working on some songs that I'm going to put out maybe one a month for the rest of the year or something like that. And it's just always a good creative exercise for me, just to stay in that mindset, just where I'm creating. A lot of times when you do these recordings, it's been a little bit of an extra challenge for me because like you'll hire people, somebody to do drums, somebody to come in and play bass and do all
Didn't
this other
call me.
stuff. Well, there's two factors to that. One,
I'm
is
not
like
any
just-
good. That's
no,
one of the factors.
Okay, so there's
factors.
three
Still
factors.
learning.
No, hey, you've come a long way.
I'm getting there.
I mean, you're like the CR house drummer now.
No, I'm not.
yeah.
I'm not. That does
You're-
not need to
You're
happen.
close. But no, there's like logistics and schedule, and then it always costs a whole bunch of money to go hire somebody. So I'm like, I'm just going to play all this stuff myself and challenge myself, and see what I can do on my own. And so I've been recording drums. I recorded everything but the bass guitar on these songs, and so I'm working
Yourself?
Yeah. Well,
The
not-
one man band.
sort of, but it takes a whole lot more than that. There's an engineer, another producer, and mixing and
Okay.
mastering. So there's a bunch of people that have their hands in it. But I've been really happy with how it turns out, and I've got a song coming out on Friday that I've been sort of previewing, doing some shows. You were there.
I was there.
Yeah, thinking about your sermon, and
Yeah. Sorry.
how you're gonna. No, it's okay. I'm the same way. I'm up there on Saturday thinking about worship the next day while I'm playing. These
I've
songs.
been to a couple of Austin's gig shows, right? And there's this one song you always introduce that you've written about somebody, your boss, back in the day. And every time you introduce that one, I'm thinking, is he going to? This is like Taylor Swift. Is he going to write a song about me one of these days?
No, I can't even tell you about this guy on the podcast.
Skip that
He
one.
lives a
then.
very different life than you do.
Cut, right.
Probably could not be more opposite.
But
No,
I think, man, those side gigs. I've written a couple books. I think people think all we do is church. I saw Michelle Koneman in the grocery store yesterday, and she goes, "You do exist outside the church.
Yeah.
We do. So you do have some musical outlets."
Yeah, and I think it's cool that it's, I don't know, like acceptable is not the word, but like it's cool that like we all acknowledge that we do other things, and whether it's business or artistic interests or endeavors or writing books or things like that. Like ministry is a huge part of our lives, and it's like there's a reason that we do it. But yeah, there's also these other outlets that I don't know, maybe in the past, no shade to anybody else, but I felt like weird about it. But I don't feel weird about having that other creative outlet over here, and like that they're competing with each other. I feel like it's like I get to do this and I get to do that, and as long as I'm doing my best at both of those, I don't feel weird about it. You know?
If you do write a song about Brian, as long as it's a good one, you can maybe you can release it on the podcast, a little album pre-release.
Yeah.
Your
Boy,
intro song.
look out for
What's
that.
that? It'll be to the tune of the Nacho Libre. When he's at the party, he's like, Ramses is the Brian is the one he is on fire.
That's
Work on
awesome.
that
Yeah, we need to come up with that one. Man, I did go to, this was early on in my ministry, and it was one of the nuggets from a little conference you go to. But the guy talked about, it was actually a lady, and she was talking about her dad being a pastor, and he just kind of had a burnout, crash, nervous breakdown, like suicidal kind of a thing. And she said one of his biggest problems was he had nothing to look forward to. And what she meant by that is, man, he's doing the work of the ministry, but there was nothing in his life that just excited him outside of that he looked forward to on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or whatever. So, I think everybody's got to have, ministry-wise, something they look forward to that just kind of jazz you. Yesterday, I ride a bicycle a lot. This year, I haven't done that because I've wanted to work on running and stuff, but I've been doing a lot of walking and running. And so one of the things I look forward to about 4 days a week is just getting out there and doing that. But over the summer, I didn't do as much. But, man, yesterday I did because, man, it felt so good yesterday.
It did.
But going up to the end of CCC Camp Road and heading up where it turns into gravel and just going, I did that yesterday, about 4.5 miles. Oh, my gosh, that jazzes me. I love it. So what's something else, y'all, outside of all of this? Are you writing songs with Austin? Are you what else you do? What do you like?
I'm hitting golf balls in the woods.
You've become quite a golfer.
Yeah, I like to play golf every once in a while. Yeah,
Are you aiming for the woods when you do that?
No, it's just you're just not that good.
Oh, okay.
Like it's it's
Sometimes
really
recording music feels like hitting golf balls in the woods.
yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's more of you just like it's a stress relief. You just hit it as far as you can. So it doesn't matter if it goes in the woods. It's like life. I got another shot. Doesn't matter
There
if
you
it's
go.
in the
There you go.
woods but you got another shot. And so
So real quick, what's everybody else's? What's your
So Leanne is in like her like Betty Crocker homesteading kind of era, I guess. So she convinced us to do a garden. So she's got some cucumbers and she's making some pickles and some tomatoes and some okra, even a watermelon. Although our dog did get one of the watermelons because it was about the size of a ball at this point. So, but yeah, shout out Henry. And she's baking a lot, which is good for my taste buds, but no other part of my body.
You may need to start running with me a little bit.
I need to run
right?
a lot because it's delicious. So I'm very appreciative and have to just watch the intake on that.
Jodi?
So I didn't realize, or I guess I just didn't pay that much attention. A lot of people don't realize I was a ballet dancer until I broke my knee, and so I studied dance until I was 23 years old, and that's what I did, and that's what I plan on doing. And
There's a Jodi fun fact.
there's
for
a Jodi
everybody.
fun fact, and so I got into ministry because I couldn't dance anymore, and the Bible was the only thing I knew anything else about. But when I was in Kentucky, I taught musical theater. I don't sing, don't ask me, but I did the dance part. And then and I coached cheer. I was an all-star cheerleader. No shock there either. So I'm looking for those outlets here. But what Amber Cross and I have found is they have bungee cord aerobics. And so they
I've seen
put
a
you
video
in bungees and then you do like a Zumba class or whatever. And you're like jumping on these bungee cords. I don't know. I'm here for it.
It's
No,
like
whoa.
It's like Dollar General Cirque du Soleil kind of.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the thing at the end of the mall where you pay some money for your kid to get in it and jump?
That's
Or
it.
is that
They
what you're
put you,
doing as
like, it's on your-
aerobics?
yes, they put
Yeah,
you
they
in
just
like the
they
arms.
just named
room.
it something
And
different.
they do, yes. And so Amber Cross and I are going to try this. It's the closest thing to dance that I can find in Dalton, and so we're going to try. Anybody want to join us? You are welcome to.
That's
I'm going to give
But-
you a big no on that.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like synchronized swimming. It meets Cirque du Soleil.
Yes,
Meets
exactly.
jazzercise and
Bungee
Zumba.
aerobics.
It's bungee aerobics
That's interesting.
because I can't find a ballet class for adults. So
So I'm going
Wow.
to start a new business and take your money.
Bungee aerobics. That's good.
we could totally do that here, like on the rafters downstairs.
I think we would lose money.
Oh, okay.
So Melissa's got the farm. Is that your gig?
Yeah, the farm is definitely my gig. So between the farm and the ministry, and then I have side gigs, but bookkeeping stuff. But yeah, that's my gig.
How
Yeah.
many animals do you have now?
Too many. But they're so cute. They are like therapy. Like, so it doesn't matter what kind of day you've had. They're still excited to see you when you come home.
You have saved the church a lot of money on the Easter petting zoo.
And
That's
with
been
this
good.
fluffy cow that's very lovable, we may change up the petting zoo to like pictures with the fluffy cow, the baby donkey.
There is nothing that says Easter like a mini cow.
And that's not just for kids
Well,
only,
I've
right?
got the
I know.
Jerusalem donkey too. So there you go.
That's it. All right, cool. So Jodi and Danny made a move this summer. Y'all moved here last year to a lot of people don't realize you were living in Ellijay.
We were living in Ellijay. We have family cabins in Ellijay, and that was one reason we even started praying about Georgia, not even Liberty specific, just Georgia. And when we found Liberty was so close, we were like, Lord, we could make this work. And so we moved to Ellijay, and we had been commuting for a year, but we really wanted to establish life in Chatsworth, Dalton. So we would leave around 6:15 every morning, drive in, get Maverick to school and work. And Danny was still working from home, so he was staying back in Ellijay. So it was a lot of life. It was not an easy year, I will say that. But one thing that we really had put upon us, we were going through the book of Exodus, and now we're going through the book of Exodus for the kids. But one thing what we never picked up on was that the Lord camped people outside of the Red Sea. In my head, it just was always you leave Egypt and you just cross. And I don't know if that's just the kids' background where you just kind of hear story after story, and the meanwhile in between kind of gets lost. And so Danny and I really were focusing on being camped because we just couldn't find a house. We couldn't get connected. We couldn't figure out how to break through. And so we were about to have a breakdown. And the Lord just kept saying, I have you camping. I need you to stay camped. And because we were like, Lord, are we supposed to be here? Let us go home. We know how home works. And he's like, just like the Israelites were like, let us go back into slavery. And the Lord just kept saying, I've got bigger plans for you, but I need it to work out in the meanwhile. And so, man, we just kept trying to push down doors that the Lord was not ready to open. And poor Michael Williams just was so gracious and so patient with us. And we were like, please show us another house. And it just wouldn't work out, and it wouldn't work out. And God is good. And so right before we were ready to give up, day 41 happened. And on day 41, Michael called and said, hey, I have something that I think is going to be bigger than y'all ever even imagined. And man, was he right, because not only did we get into a house and And if you want to hear more about the story, please come ask us or ask Michael. But
And this happened right after we brought it up on a Sunday night prayer meeting.
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. About 3 weeks later.
After you threw your real estate agent under the
I
bus in
didn't
front
mean
of the house.
to. I tried to say that he was working really hard, but
I'm just kidding.
man alive, we
Yeah,
could
but
not
we
get
did.
into a
We
house
were
for
really
nothing.
seriously praying
we
about
were,
that.
We were praying because we didn't know what else to do, and
Yeah.
we just could not keep. We were pulling 15, 16-hour days with a 7-year-old doing that same stuff, and we just were like, Lord, what are we doing? And he just kept going, I am providing every single day to help you guys out. I've got this. And you know what? If it would have worked out in our timing, it wouldn't have been available. Right. And so, long story short, we got into an amazing house, and the Lord is just so gracious and so kind. We are here, and it is really nice not having to leave the house at 6:15 or getting home in 10 minutes or being able to have coffee where we don't have to plan a 4-hour time period. And so just being able to feel a part of the community, and it's just been really nice. It's been great.
We won't give all the details of the whole thing, but man, just in quick, it not only answered a prayer for you guys, but there was another family in the church, and y'all had no idea.
We had no idea.
It was their house, right? And they had no idea y'all were the ones looking. But it was amazing how God just orchestrated a really incredible thing for two families. So
and timing on both ends, because they put their house on the market when we moved here a year ago, couldn't sell it.
wow,
Could not sell it. And so God was working in their life and their transitions, and same thing with us. And it all just,
Ephesians 3:20,
Man.
right? More than you could ever ask or think.
and then just he parted the waters on day 41 for us. And because we were like, we cannot camp anymore. We can't do this. And he's like, yeah, you can, because I'm going to keep providing. And he did. And so we were able to cross the mountain, not the Red Sea, but we were able to finally cross the mountain. And what a blessing. And it's just been so cool since then.
man. And sometimes then staff, there's a lot of pressures beyond the ministry, right? You're doing things for other people's families and that kind of thing. But man, sometimes it all hits yours, right? So, give all the gory details, but man, Scott is a new season caring for your dad, right? You've moved him not in y'all's house, but he is in a camper at your house, right?
Yep.
And man, he's got a lot of health issues. And then going through some stuff with your son Tristan, right? And just a lot of things in your family. What's the weight of that sometimes in ministry when you're trying to give to everybody else, but man, you got the big need at home?
So it's that same thing we were talking about earlier of you pour out so much, and then you're not being, as much as you're pouring out, there's not that much coming in. And so you can get in that place where I'm so thankful that we're going to do the Psalms with the man church, because you can get in that place to where you're like, I'm doing everything that I know to do, and where are you, God? Right? But through all of it, I've just seen God showing me some things in my own personal life that sometimes you stuff things down and you just leave them there, and God says, no, I want to take you to a different level, and so I'm gonna let you face some things. And so one of the it's hard taking care of somebody. It's not easy. And so, but I've saw God moving in some things. I've saw God moving in my own life and moving in my dad's life and in Tristan's life. And so, update on Tristan, we gathered in my office a couple weeks ago, and some really godly people gathered with us, and just the amount of faith that was in that room when we prayed. You just felt the presence of God, and not only that, the same altar. The altar in the same Bible that my father-in-law prayed for us for before we were saved. We gathered, and I've got that same Bible on my altar, and
That's cool.
Just to hear everybody praying, crying out for a young man that has so much life left ahead of him. And so God answered that prayer. So Tristan's going to Providence Ministries.
Oh, wow.
And so that's going to be, the right atmosphere. Now we're praying that his heart changes, right? And then yesterday I'm taking my dad to an appointment, and so we're just talking back and forth, and just talking about following Jesus. And he asked me, so how do you do that? And so I got to share the gospel with him, and he never said anything, but I got to share the truth with him, right? I got to share how you do that, and so I'm seeing God working even in the midst of the struggles and the challenges that come along with it, and ultimately I feel like this in my own spirit that God wants me to be a reflection of Him in these moments that you have to face your own inner battles and the things that you're dealing with inside, but still look like Jesus in the moment of that.
Yeah.
So it's been challenging, but I've grown a whole lot during the summer.
Man, I think we all see it. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know how Scott does what he does, but man, the Lord uses you in a powerful way. It's really cool to see that. Yeah, you mentioned a moment ago just the new Man Church series that starts on Wednesday night. And this is something that obviously I love the Psalms. I talk about it a lot. We pray through it on Sunday mornings. I did a thing called Backport Psalms several years ago, taught a video on every Psalm. And by the way, Facebook has dumped all those videos, but anyway, they're gone. But so at the beginning of the year, I started working on a Man Church curriculum for the book of Psalms. And just in the last couple of weeks, God has really, I've wrote all the lessons. And so then the Lord just showed me how in each of those Psalms, there's this wrestling and then there's a place of submission, and it brings people to a point of worship. And sometimes that wrestling and submission is painful, and that's what you're going through. But man, doubts, fears, depressions, anger, all those emotions that a lot of men feel, their questionings of God are all in the book of Psalms. And so we're going to be going through that starting on Wednesday nights at 6:30. The ladies are doing an awesome Bible study in the auditorium at the same time. And it's really about just getting in the Word and preaching a sermon to yourself. It's really good. I've jumped in on that. But our Wednesday nights for adults, it's about a 15-minute message, and then you get around the table and discuss some questions. And I am hearing just some really good stuff in both places. I'll tell you how we know we're doing pretty good in Man Church. Is not when the guys come up to me and go, man, I'm getting a lot out of that. But the last couple of weeks, I've had some of the wives coming up to me and go, hey, whatever y'all are doing in Man Church, keep on doing it. That's when you know you're on to something, right?
That's a true test for sure.
Yeah, and we had 55 guys last Wednesday night, which I think is the most we've ever had in Man Church. And then we had the event Sunday night. Man, I think we might have 70 guys this week, so it'd be pretty awesome to see that. But it is a busy time. We're starting a new series in the dock. Tell us about that.
So we're getting ready to do Move Up, or we just had Move Up Sunday last week. But to kind of piggyback on what is going on in Man Church too, our kids throughout the whole year, our theme is rebranded. What do we do when Satan tries to give us an identity crisis? And who are we in Christ is kind of the big umbrella for kids this year. So we started in June with Abraham, and we talked about him being Abram to Abraham. And then we went through with Isaac, and then we went through to Jacob and all through his sons. And that led us into Egypt. So that is where we are now. We have made it to Moses, and his story isn't any different. He had to be rebranded because he had purpose on purpose at the beginning. And so on Wednesday nights, we're doing a Survivor themed for all of you 90s and early 2000s people. But we're doing Escape from Egypt. So we are going through Moses' whole story, but we're doing it with a Survivor twist. So when they've got to build a fire, we're going to be talking about the burning bush, and when we've got to find water. And so they're going to be building all of their shelters, and they're going to be divided into the tribes of Israel. I can't kick people off the island. I asked. They said no. And Scott won't let me have a firing torch, so I have a bubble torch. But
no.
Good
but
call.
we're doing the 10 Commandments and the I am statements on Sunday, so everything will go back to you were chosen on purpose for His purpose. And so when you feel an identity crisis from who people try to tell you who you are, remember who you are. You are His, and you are rebranded. And so that is what's happening in kids' ministries. So we're excited.
So this weekend is Labor Day weekend, but it's also kind of move up time for preschoolers, for students, for children. You three have a lot invested in this, and we've got a couple of procedures of that in the next couple of weeks. Can y'all just real briefly take everybody through what's the move up as we get into September?
Yeah.
For preschool students, children, what's going on?
So for preschool, this past Sunday, all of our kindergarten graduates moved down to the dock.
Okay.
So we had about 10 graduates. So Jodi inherited 10 seeds that
All
I
right.
sent to her.
Yep, that we get to water in the dock.
Good deal. So you got the new ones, and then y'all had to move up last Wednesday night.
So this past Wednesday night, Jodi had a great idea, and we talked about it and worked it out to where we had all of our students, middle school, high school, and all of our leaders go down to the dock on Wednesday night about 6:45, and she gathered the new sixth graders and put them in the center. The students circled all around with our leaders, and then she had her other dock kids circle around on the other side, and we just formed this big circle around them and put them in the middle. And she spoke some beautiful words. Her voice cracked up a little bit because she was talking and I wasn't, which was fine, because she cares about them a lot, man. And she prayed over the kids, and I prayed over the kids. We took the sixth graders up and had some good icebreaker stuff and let them meet each other, meet their new small groups and things like that. Played some games and brought them back down so that their parents didn't think they were missing on the first Wednesday.
That's important.
Yeah, but it was really good. It was really good for I think everybody. And then this past Sunday, August 24th, we had all of our new sixth graders coming up into middle school, all of our new ninth graders coming up into high school, and then our recent graduates going over to building the bridge with that class. And it's been great, man. It's been really good. And for the next 3 Sundays, or for the next 2 Sundays, because we already had one, 3 Sundays in a row, what we're doing is trying to take all the middle school and high school, going to be upstairs for life group time with me and their life group leaders, and then all of the new dock age kids are going to be down there with Jodi during life group time, and just getting in the Word, getting to know each other, forming strong bonds, and really trying to start them off this year successfully, because we know that if they really get to know each other and get to know their life group leaders and stuff, those relationships make all the difference. And church is not just an organization and a place they come to, but they realize that the biblical idea is this is their Jesus family, and we're going to be together forever one day. And so it's just been good all around.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the handoff is going to be kind of a new tradition, because it was really cool to see first grade all the way through seniors for this year, and all the people digging into the Word with them. And it was just, it's a really cool moment just to show them it's a comma, not a period. You don't leave the dock. It's just your next step. And so she plants, we water, and we're going to watch it grow.
Good stuff.
So super cool.
So yeah, in the move up thing, that means that now you got some kids that were going down to the dock that
Yes.
Theoretically would stay in the main service. And so several weeks ago we started a new sermon series, Keeping Up with the Corinthians. And when we started that sermon series, a lot of people came to me, man, I cannot wait to get into this. This is going to be so good. But I don't think people realize that when you turn the page to 1 Corinthians 5, 6 and 7, now people are looking at me like, that's in the Bible? So we've had some of those big-eyed looks here. Right? So we have provided, though. I'll be one more week just kind of talking about sex, and this week is going to be 1 Corinthians 7, talking about sex, singleness, marriage, widowhood, all those kind of subjects go up in that. Maybe I can finish it in 1 week. I'm not really sure. But we have kind of made a caveat for those that parents like, man, my kid don't need to jump in right here on the Corinthians series.
Yeah, we have Swag Sunday will be, if they are 5th graders who just moved into 6th grade, they're still doing life group with Levi, but until Swag Sunday on September 7th, that's this Sunday. No,
we got
sorry,
one more.
2 more. This 5th Sunday is throwing me off. 31st is this week. The next week is the 7th. The 5th graders, now current 6th graders, can come stay with us down in the dock. And then at Swag Sunday, that will be their first Sunday that they will stay up in Big Church.
Yeah.
And so it's working out. But yeah, we've got.
So yeah, we're trying to help you not have some weird questions when you head home.
Yes,
right?
they went from forgiveness to
Corinthians.
not forgiveness, or we need to have something to forgive.
We're doing our own version of the Survivor
That's right.
series. So anyway, it's like, can I survive this sermon?
Yes.
That's what we're in. So then we got, just real quickly, we got the rodeo fundraiser coming up September 5th and 6th. That's a big opportunity. Y'all serve the food at the rodeo, and it raises a lot of money.
Yeah, so
kids.
just super quick, for middle schoolers through high schoolers, some of the stuff that we do has costs. You know, we go places, we stay overnights and things like that, winter retreat and beach camp and things like that. And I know that, you know, it can seem like a lot when you got several kids and things like that. So the rodeo fundraiser is a great way to earn lots of money that goes into a student account that can be for things like the winter retreat, beach camp, D-Now, and stuff like that. So it is the 5th and 6th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. We do all the concessions for the rodeo. So if you want a spot on that, there are some spots open to earn. So I'll have stuff on social media. It's on
Good deal.
Awesome. Sign up, help, earn.
Yeah, so that's right around the corner. September 15th is going to be our onboarding breakfast. If you want to know what Liberty does, why we do it, and how we do it, there's 12 videos on our website, libertybaptistchurch.ws. You can also download our app, the Liberty Baptist Chatsworth app. And you watch those videos, you answer some questions, and then it's about every 2 months, I think, we do a breakfast we invite you to. I'll kind of help you acclimate a little bit more to the church during that breakfast. So the next one of those, finish the videos, and you get invited to the breakfast, is September the 15th. And then we do, we got a big one coming up, and I'll just preview this one for you. We'll talk more about it in the weeks ahead. Back to Church Sunday, September the 21st. We'll finally have everybody back in school next week. Congratulations, Murray County. My goodness. But Back to Church Sunday is a great time to invite people that maybe they were in church, maybe this church, and you hadn't seen them in a while. Get them back. All of our life groups will be serving breakfast that day. It's a really good day. Just to encourage people. And over the years, we've gotten a couple of families that they come back to that, and then they just, hey, we need to be here. So extend those invitations to Back to Church Sunday. So, man, I think we just broke a record for the podcast. That was a long one,
I was
man.
going to say this might be a part 1, part 2 situation.
Well,
I don't know.
You haven't had one in months, so.
No, I'm not saying from my standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm saying from the listener. You know?
Yeah, but it's all,
you can do it. You can.
It's a lot to take in. It's good stories and good way to catch up. But hey, we do need your help with the podcast. And again, you can go to our website and you can pull up either the app or the website and go to the podcast page. You can suggest content. There's going to be a staff chat session. Bring us a topic. We'd love to kind of kick it around and talk about it for you. Lori is going to do a story about once a month, so you can, hey, I got a testimony, or I know somebody's got an incredible redemption story that you can throw in there. And I am going to do the ask Brother Brian questions. Not going to do one today because, man, this one did run long. But in the future, that all those things, you can just go to that page and just put it right in there, and it'll send it to us. So, well, hey, a lot going on at Liberty. We're glad to be back, and we're glad you're back. So thanks for watching Live at Liberty.